Chris. Who else do we see in here? Angela, Jules, Martha, Rebecca, Julie. Damn, everyone's in here today.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. Carla Marie is on her way in. I don't know if she went out to take out the garbage or something. Carla Marie? Oh, okay. She just said coming. So, good morning. Hope everyone's doing good today. Oh, wait. What the hell's going on here? There we go. Now we're on the screen. You know, sometimes buttons just don't want to work properly. I pressed it. All right. All good now? There we go. Perfect. We got Pikachu. We got myself. Carla Marie's on her way in. If you notice, the screen behind me is actually, it might be a little tilted right now, but the color is a little better than it has been. I've been playing around with TV settings because that's fun to do. Oh. We've got a Carla Marie and a cat that just walked in. You gonna hustle a little bit or just take your sweet ass time? Jesus Christ.
I had to get my hot water.
Let's see. Coast to Coast said, oh my God, Carla Marie, that looks so comfy. You didn't get to what?
Curl my eyelashes. Look at them.
What's the fascination with eyelashes?
I don't know, but like my little niece has the longest eyelashes. She's 4 months old. When I tell you I post a photo of her, all of my DMs are the eyelashes.
Well, no, I'm not talking about baby eyelashes. I'm talking about women doing all the things to their eyelashes.
Because it makes your eyes pop. And
but I've never, like,
I've
been a guy my whole life, right?
And you have long eyelashes.
That's not the point. I've been a guy my whole life, and in all the conversations that I've had with other guys, I've literally never heard someone be like, oh, man, those eyelashes.
Like,
give me some of that. Give me some of that lash. Oh,
do you say that about anything?
Yeah, I say, give me some of that shoulder. I don't know. But it's just...
Good thing I got these.
What?
Wait, are
Shoulders?
you talking about other guys? Or are you talking about how you feel towards women or men? Like, you don't look at women and say that about their eyelashes?
I don't look at anybody and say that. But, yeah, it's interesting. Like, especially, like, the really, really long eyelash extensions.
Yeah, those are next level.
You know, it's something. And listen, do what you want to do. It's your face. Plaster, paint, pinch, zoom, do whatever you want to your face.
Speaking of.
What?
Gotta get some tox.
Some Botox?
Yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you want. It's an interesting thing that's like taken off in the last, I don't know, 10 years?
Botox?
No, eyelashes. You keep trying to change the conversation from eyelashes. Botox? My shoulders?
It's been more than 10 years because well before then I was like self-conscious about my tiny eyelashes.
So what did you start doing? What was the first time you started augmenting your lashes?
I probably started using lash serum.
What does that do?
Makes them grow.
Okay.
And
when was that?
Early 20s. I probably got it in some like gift bag at some event.
Oh wow, so 35 years ago? That's crazy. Becky from Miami, thank you very much for that subscription with the Prime. We appreciate that. Let's see what we got on the list today. Basketball diaries.
Like another one?
Oh, yeah. A diary is a daily thing, Carla Marie. And I did want to remind everyone that the buy one, get one deal that we have, it will end on Friday.
Yeah.
So you can buy the tickets right now. You can DM me at Worst Anthony. I'm going to post some stuff later about it as well. But the buy one, get one deal is a really good deal. And it works on any ticket in the entire place. I found out yesterday while I was playing, because I was talking to one of the guys, and after we were done playing, we started chatting a little bit. And he was like, oh, I haven't seen you here in a while. Like
playing basketball.
And I said, well, this is what's going on. I got to play in this game, so on and so forth. And apparently everyone knows about this game. This is a big deal.
Did you say you were playing in a celebrity basketball tournament?
No, I said there's a charity basketball game I'm playing in. I'm the charity. They're letting me play. the nicest thing the charity has done. No, but the guy who I was talking to, 19 years old, plays in a junior college here, getting ready to transfer to a bigger school. And he said that on Saturdays, he goes to the LA Fitness in Bellevue, and Doug Baldwin plays there on Saturday mornings.
Oh, you're not here. Next Saturday.
So I might have to go and give Doug Baldwin a little business.
Well, Doug Baldwin picks the teams.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't play.
Yeah, I know, but no, I think he does play.
Is he playing?
I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing. And I feel like if I show him, like, exert my dominance, he'll be like, oh, that guy's good. I got to put him on a good team and make sure he plays.
Did we meet him at the Safeway?
Yes. The Safeway. Yes, we did.
We did like
Doug Baldwin,
Cliff
Michael
April.
Bennett. Oh, no, was it?
Cliff was there.
Cliff and Richard Sherman was there.
Yeah. So those three, they're like the Powerpuff Girls.
Well, this is that was part of this
I know.
charity that they put together, the Champions of Change.
So yeah. Well, rumor has it that all these guys really want to win.
Well,
so
yeah.
they don't play the non-athletes as much. So we're gonna need that crowd.
Well, here's the good news: is yesterday I got to the gym around 9 o'clock, and they were playing full court 5-on-5, and I was like, oh man, my body is really hurting right now. But I got to get in there. I got to play some games. I played 3 full court 5-on-5 games, and I actually felt like I was getting back into a rhythm finally.
After how many days of playing?
This is my, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is my 4th day in a row.
So you're telling me after 4 days of cheerleading, I would be back at it doing some toe touches?
Maybe. I don't know. Well, the thing is, it's not like I've not done anything since the pandemic, right?
Okay.
But basketball shape is just different. And I finally feel like I'm getting my lungs for basketball shape. Because it is a totally different type of fitness level you need to play basketball. And I feel like if I do it again today and tomorrow, then I go to this bachelor party, then I come back and I continue playing almost every day until this basketball game, I think I'm actually going to be okay.
You might even be able to play at the bachelor party. Like maybe there's a court.
If there is, I'll get some shots up.
Do you know the last time that I played a legit game of basketball?
2006?
No.
I don't know.
I was probably 12, middle school.
Yeah?
So it's 2000.
Well, I was playing, if you remember back, way back when we moved here, the reason I started going to LA Fitness in Ballard was because they had a gym, a basketball gym.
Court.
And a basketball court, yeah. And I was playing, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a week, and then the panini hit. And they closed down the gym, and then when they reopened the gym, you still have to work out with your mask on in Washington. And I couldn't see myself sprinting as hard as I could with a mask on.
Yeah.
It seemed silly.
I was doing that at Barry's and then at Orange Theory.
Yeah, it just seemed silly.
Yeah, but it made my lungs stronger.
Maybe.
You should have tried it. You would have been way better at basketball.
Maybe.
Okay, I got to go blow my nose. I'll bring the tissues in here, don't worry.
Oh, great. We can all hear you blow your nose. This is going to be fantastic. Can you take this cat? I don't know if anyone can see. There's a cat on my lap. And Caroline keeps nudging my elbow, trying to get me to pet her. See? I don't know if you saw her head just poke up right there. Let's see. Oh, I just saw a message. B-Delps. This is a very serious message, B-Delps. Let me put it on the screen real quick so everyone knows what I'm talking about. No, I can't find it. I hate the way this works sometimes. Anyway, B-Delp said, hey, guys, I haven't been able to watch live much. Life has been pretty crazy. My brother, who's only 31, had back surgery and now can't walk. It's been a stressful few days.
That's crazy.
Please pray for him. Love this community. Obviously, prayers up for your brother.
That's scary.
That's some very scary stuff.
Like, what are doctors saying? Like, he'll be fine, or this is normal, or it's scary.
That is scary stuff, and it's always, obviously, we don't want anything to happen to anyone in this chat, but it also sucks when it's your family because you feel like you've got to, do something and go above and beyond for your family because that's what we all do.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey. Started chomping on the wire. Sorry.
Oh.
What?
Well, B-dubs, we're sending our love to you.
Yeah. Let's see some prayer hands in the chat. So next thing on the list, Carla Marie, you talked about this yesterday a little bit. You talked about it on the stream this morning, on the podcast this morning. Bachelorette cheating.
Yes.
Okay, what do we got?
Doing that right now?
Yeah. What are we waiting for?
I just wanted to see where we're at. Okay. I curled my eyelashes, too.
Okay, come on, let's go.
All right. So, went to a bachelorette party in Leavenworth, Washington this weekend, and it's apparently the bachelorette capital of Washington.
Leavenworth?
As you said last week as a joke,
Yeah.
we must have seen 15 bachelorette parties.
Oh, wow.
It was.
I mean, it's a beautiful place.
It is. And my friend who was getting married, Lindsay, started talking to another bachelorette, and they're getting married the same day. And she's talking about how it's her bachelorette party, and she's there with her friend, and whatever. So then we sit back down at our table, and we're going to do karaoke.
Okay.
But then we start seeing that bachelorette party start mingling with this group of guys. And the bride is now grinding on this dude that we know is not her. It's no, this is not her fiance. They don't know each other before this bar.
Okay.
All right. Grinding on him. It's a bachelor party, whatever. Then the bride starts making out with him.
Oh, wow.
And it's not like the lights are as bright as they are in here. It was like not a like dingy place where people are going to see you. It was like right there in the front where people are doing karaoke. Like everyone is watching them.
Okay.
And we're like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like panics. And then our friend who has an engagement ring and a wedding band on her finger starts making out with this other guy. And we're like, oh my God. So I'm trying to calm everyone down. Like, guys, like, listen, maybe, just maybe, like, she was given a pass.
You never know.
Bachelorette party. Maybe they're in an open relationship. And someone said something. I was like, listen, you've heard Dirty Little Secret before on our show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be open-minded here. Okay? Then the friends swap, guys.
Oh, wow.
At one point. And, like, I think she started, the non-bride was, like, making out with the other dude. And then the bride picks up her sundress. We see her whole ass. And the other guy starts smacking her butt.
Oh.
In the middle of this dive bar. Like, it's not like there was, like, it's not like you're at, like, a Vegas club and someone's on a table. Like, it was just, like, so weird.
Yeah.
It just seemed like that would be more acceptable in Vegas. Yeah, Martha says, I'm uncomfortable. We were right. When I tell you we were 5 feet away from this, we all kept looking at each other going,
Did you guys do anything?
no. And I had posted on Instagram, like, should I, like, ask about their situation?
No.
And
You're never going to see that person again in your life.
I just,
Why do you care what they do?
so I could pass it along.
Pass what along?
The information here.
What do you mean?
The hot goss.
What do you mean?
Oh, I wanted to
you're
ask.
still passing along.
No. I wanted to know, are you in an open relationship or are you cheating on your fiance?
Listen, it's what do the people call the bachelor party? It's like the last fling?
Last fling before the ring.
Yeah, so maybe it was an actual last fling. Maybe she said, you know what?
Oh,
I'm going to have a quick little fling, and I'll go on my merry way. My merry married way.
who just said this? Vicky said, were they drunk? Yes, very.
I would assume so.
Very drunk. Then, and the guys too, the girls, whatever. Then they all leave together. Like the four of them left together. Nowhere to be seen again.
It was just those four?
Yeah, there may have been like another guy with them, but I didn't see any other bachelorettes unless they were like, we're not engaging in this activity. Because I'll tell you right now, if I was like, guys, what if like one of us started doing that? What would we do? And we were all like, we would stop you and also flip out on you.
Yeah, they have a different friend group. They've got different moral codes. I don't know. I kind of wish you did get more of the story, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you see people acting a fool and you just got to walk away. You don't know them. Who cares?
And we were all drinking. One of the girls in our group doesn't drink. So she was obviously very sober witnessing all of this. And I was sitting next to her. And when we saw that dress go up, we were both
that's
oh
wild.
God. And then we saw the smack and we were like this. Like, there was no poker faces happening at our table. They knew we were
at their table. There weren't either. So
they knew we were staring at them. And then I had posted about that happening, and Coley, who also follows along, listens to the show, DM'd me, and she was the one that was also there that weekend.
Okay, yeah.
And she's like, they're the reason we left because it was so uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
They were just getting that wild. In Leavenworth, Washington, the little Bavarian town.
Yeah.
Huh. I never would have. I mean, I guess you could cheat or do crazy things anywhere in America. Just Leavenworth seems like a weird place to do that.
I think it's, I think it probably happens more because you're like, oh, we're going to Leavenworth. We're going
Little girls' weekend.
We're going to go whitewater rafting, although we did.
Yeah. I feel like if you're looking to do something like that, though, at your bachelor or bachelorette party, I feel like you would go to like Vegas or Miami, Phoenix maybe. I don't know. And by Phoenix, I mean Scottsdale, the cooler part of the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
I just don't see Leavenworth being the place you want to go and like get ratchet. Like get your ass smacked in public, you know?
I don't know.
It seems like a weird place to go.
I don't like it. I agree with you. Also, I was watching some of the girls I was with knew another girl who was on a bachelorette party in Vegas. And they were like, did you see her stories? Like, this is what they woke up to the next day. This person was posting all these stories on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And they were at a pool party. And the bride bent over in her, like, bikini that had a little veil on her butt. Because that's the thing that they do. The little cute, I actually kind of like the veil on the butt. It's cute. And her friend poured water on her butt and licked the water off of it.
I can tell you what's not going to be happening at the bachelor party that I'm going to in South Carolina this weekend.
But I was like, okay, two things. One, why water, not alcohol? Like, just.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't want a sticky butt.
We were like, at least let the alcohol kill the germs of the butt.
No, but maybe because if you poured like champagne on her butt, I can imagine that's going to be sticky.
You're at a pool party, but dunk your ass in the pool.
That's true.
Two.
I bet you that pool is going to make you sticky too.
Don't do those things all you want, but why are you posting them on Instagram?
You know, this is, and I say this, I feel like I've said it over the years a lot. Groups of girls getting together, whether it's a bachelorette party or not, are always more out of control than groups of guys getting together.
Because also, I don't know, I feel like girls are more comfortable with their sexuality, so they start doing things that guys wouldn't do.
Well, they do grind on each other and stuff like that in clothes. But I also feel like when guys go out, there isn't a group. It's not like if me and my friends go out to this bachelor party this weekend, right? There isn't going to be a group of girls being like, yeah, shake your ass, do it. But like if girls start shaking their butt, there's going to be groups of guys that gather around and encourage it.
Can just see you guys on the golf course.
Like if I decided to get up on a table at a bar and start like hip thrusting, there aren't going to be girls that are like, yeah,
they might. It.
Wave that dick or whatever they're saying. I don't know.
They might.
They're not. It just doesn't happen like that. But if a girl gets up on a table, even if she's just around her friends and she's shaking her butt.
If it was you, I don't know you, I'd be like, oh, that guy's gay. That's where my head would go first.
If I was just up there wiggling my ween?
Because I feel like straight guys don't do that.
Wiggle it.
Because they're not comfortable with their sexuality.
Just a little bit. I want to see you wiggle it. Just a little bit. There's a cat on my lap as I dance.
So you can't wiggle it enough.
I'm trying to not wiggle it with the cat on my lap. That would be weird.
Anyway, all these bachelorette things, I've been making a list of what I'm going to do one day at mine.
And so what's your list?
I would like to whitewater raft just so I can watch my family cry.
So getting your butt smacked is not on your list?
Oh, no, butt smack, but by my girls. Maybe a butt shot. Champagne off my butt.
Let's see. Mandarin Rose said, I have so many stories from past Vegas girls trips. Exactly. And girls, I feel like, are kind of like I said before, they're encouraged to do more crazy things than guys are when you go to a place like Vegas or apparently Leavenworth, Washington. They're kind of like egged on to do that, you know? Where once, like, guys aren't allowed to stand on tables, which is bullshit.
No.
My cousin George, we went out to this is years ago, we went to a club in AC, Atlantic City.
Yeah. Because
we were celebrating his younger brother's 21st birthday. And, you know, there was, like, the platforms that girls were dancing on, and George got up, and within, like, 30 seconds, a security guard was like, no, sir.
Yeah.
You get that wiener off that platform.
You know, listen, we may not make as much money, but we get to dance on the tables. Yeah. So.
And your people are obviously buying you more drinks, things like that.
Thank God, because we wouldn't be able to afford them.
Ricky said she just came in here and she missed the context of wiggling my ween. Well, there really is no context. Sometimes when you dance, just think about it this way. If you see a guy dancing, he's wiggling his ween.
Ew.
Yep.
Okay, so
You're welcome.
The Bachelorette party group chat from the weekend, the bride shared a clip of yesterday's show in the thing, and it was me saying it was the best Bachelorette party. Everyone's like, yeah, of course, whatever. And then I don't even know whose number this is. This might be Paige, said, Carla Marie, tell us about your hiking shorts too on the show. Get to that in a second. And everyone else, oh my God, I need to watch your show. And then the bride shared the full link to the YouTube show yesterday. And someone's, who's 513? They're live on Twitch right now. Who is this?
I don't know. Why don't you call them? They could probably, if they're in the chat, they can let us know who they are.
What is Eric? Who? I didn't save everyone. Oh, Cincinnati. That must be Kelly. That is Matt, Lindsay's fiance.
Okay.
His sister. But she lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Hi, Kelly, if you're in here. Anyway, so my hiking pants. I talked about these in What's Trending a while back on the Morning Show podcast. They're from a company called Nara, Gnara, and they have a zipper that goes all underneath your crotch.
Yeah.
All the way up your butt crack as a female so that you can just open and pee. It was my best pee experience hiking ever.
You know what else you could do with those pants? Is if you're a guy, you can wear them and then you unzip and you wiggle it just a little bit. You know, wiener wiggle.
Okay, well, now you just ruined this whole company and everything they've achieved.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
The wiener wiggle is I'm gonna do so many wiener wiggles this weekend in South Carolina.
All right, you better post every time.
I'm gonna be dancing all weekend long with the wiener wiggle. I hope I've also ruined the Wiggles. Isn't that what they're called? The dance group or whatever the kids.
They're not a dance.
The kids do. They dance for kids. They're a dance group. They're like the Fly Girls from In Living Color, but for kids. Okay. It's basically what they are. Yeah. They sing, they dance. They're a dance group, and they're the Wiener Wiggles. Yes or no?
You're embarrassing me in front of my new friends that are probably watching.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, it's not on the list. We are going to stay in Washington, though. It's going to be a very Washington intense show. You talked about it this morning in the podcast, the Morning Show podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. The big story in Washington right now is Washington Health Services arresting this woman who is choosing to not take tuberculosis medication and get better. She has TB. She's not taking any medication.
For over a year.
Which, honestly, if you're sick and you just want to let it take its course, do it. That's your prerogative. But that's not why she's getting arrested. She's getting arrested because she had two choices. Either get the treatment or self-isolate, because it is a contagious disease that you can get. And she chose to do neither.
And Tacoma Swifty, who's commenting in the chat, it's her town that this is happening.
It is down in Tacoma, right?
Yeah.
And so this woman's riding buses. She's going to
casinos.
She's going everywhere.
Yeah.
Which a casino, I mean, you touch a chip, that chip goes to 8 billion hands in the casino. Now, here's the issue. Again, like I said, whatever disease, virus, illness you have, if you choose not to get treatment, do what you do.
Yeah, it's on you.
But this woman's also like a bioterrorist, right? Like, what is different from her going on a bus than going to a casino than any person grabbing, like, I don't know, anthrax, and spraying it around a bus and then spraying it around a casino? Nothing.
Well, this is like the people that coughed on people during COVID on purpose. What about them?
I don't. Well, COVID killed a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. 1 million people in America died from COVID. It's not as deadly as tuberculosis.
I'll be honest,
it's not as deadly as some of the other things. It's really weird. And there are people that are on this woman's side. Like, no, let her do whatever she wants. It's hashtag freedom.
Until you get it.
And I agree with your freedom to choose what kind of treatments you take. and what kind of things go in your body. I totally agree with that. But there's also repercussions. There's also responsibility with that freedom. What are you reading?
I just wanted to see what tuberculosis, what happens.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I obviously never had to worry about it in my life as a symptom. I think you get the shot when you're a kid and you're set. You get pain in your chest. You cough. It can be chronic or with blood. You get whole body chills, fatigue, fever, loss of appetite, night sweats. Also common loss of muscle, phlegm. Oh my God, maybe I have this. Severe unintentional weight loss. Never mind. Shortness of breath or swollen lymph nodes.
Maybe she was on your bus or something. Maybe she was in Leavenworth, this woman. And again,
Anyway,
and here's the thing, if you get TB from this woman, it is treatable. Like it's not a great disease to get, but it is treatable if you get it. The problem is this woman's just roaming around, possibly giving a bunch of other people TB.
Now, if this were another state, like Washington is very serious about their health care.
Yeah.
For the most part. If this were I don't know, Texas or Florida.
Yeah.
What would happen?
I don't know because this isn't the same issue as vaccinations. Right? This isn't like the COVID vaccine debate. I feel like unfortunately skewed a lot of other viewpoints when they don't necessarily all overlap with one another. They're not all connected. If you choose not to get vaccinated, yes, that is your choice to a degree, and it'll affect you more than it'll affect everyone else. But this woman is affecting everyone else because she knows she has it, and she's not getting treatment, which could then put everyone else at risk.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of wild. According to Jolly Russian Buddhist in New Jersey, it might actually be considered an act of terrorism.
I don't see how it couldn't be.
Right.
Right? Like, if she looked like me and was running around giving people TB, people would be calling her a terrorist pretty quick. Pretty quick. Although I realized at the gym, no one thinks I'm Arabic. Yesterday, some guy thought I was Indian. The day before, some guy thought I was Greek. And I said, yeah, I get that a lot. It was actually funny yesterday when I was talking to the guy at the gym. He goes, I was sitting down putting on my regular sneakers to leave the gym. And he said, hey, are you Indian? And I said, no, I get that sometimes. But I'm Middle Eastern. And he said, oh, my girlfriend's Punjabi, I think, is what he said. And then he just kept talking to me about how his girlfriend's Indian. And I wanted to be like, dude, I don't know anything about Indian culture.
Are people just going up to you at the gym and saying, hey, are you Indian?
Yeah, he did. I mean, we played 3 basketball games together. At that point, we're best friends.
No one ever asked me what I am.
I don't know what to tell you.
What did someone tell you? Oh, the guy here. What did he think I was?
The guy? What guy?
At the food place. Shawarma time.
Oh, he asked if you were also Palestinian.
Yeah.
So there's a place, Shawarma Time, that opened up not too far from here. Mm-hmm. The guy who either owns it or works there a lot, whatever he does, is Palestinian. So we were talking about that a little bit, and then he asked if Carla Marie was. And there are light-skinned Palestinians, light-skinned, Arabic people in general. So he thought Carla Marie was also Palestinian. Plus, you got the dyed hair.
It's not dyed.
It's not? So you'll never use dye for the rest of your life because you don't have dyed hair?
It's not dye.
What would your hair look like if
it's bleach?
I feel like somehow that's worse. What would your hair look like? Would you just end up with a line that went down your head?
I would have to not.
Do you have to re-dye your hair to grow it out?
To not look like an idiot, I would have to get it a bunch of processes done to match my natural color until it grew out. But no, it would have light in it. I can't see because this camera is in my way.
Oh, Amanda says you dye Easter eggs and color hair. That was drilled into my head in cosmetology school.
I love it.
So you color your hair, you don't dye your hair.
Anyway.
What if I'm coloring Easter eggs?
Just more body augmentation. We love to see it.
The hair, the boobs, the eyelashes, the needles in the face. What else you got going on?
My nails painted, except they're look.
Life is a Hike said, I get Middle Eastern and Indian all the time. But what are you? That's Larry, right? What else do we have here?
The Bachelorette chat is popping off right now.
Okay, what are they saying? Because we've kind of moved on from them, but are they still here? Should we just do the show for them?
Megan said, oh my God, I just listened to the morning show podcast and heard her lead for this bachelor party story, and I texted her. I'm so excited to listen later.
Well, thank you for listening whenever you happen to do that.
Megan now listens to for like a few weeks, but listening to the morning show podcast every day.
It was actually very nice. So Carla Marie got a ride to this bachelorette party this weekend.
Got picked up.
And Megan was there, and I was helping Carla Marie put bags in the car. And I opened the door, Megan's sitting there, and she said, I just want you to know, now that I have a commute, I've been listening to the morning show podcast, and I feel, what did she say, so informed.
She's like, I get to work. She was telling me I wanted to get a video of her this weekend. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
She's like, I get to work, and I like know things, and I talk to people about it, and she's like, it's so cool. Like, I actually know things. And she tells her husband, he's like, what is going on?
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole point. The point was that we are not reporters, right? All we do is we look at some of the big headlines, most of which you've heard, some you probably we feel should hear, and we give you updates about them. And especially when it comes to the core four, which is like the bigger, sometimes more political
I'm not uncovering
things.
Stories.
Our goal with those stories is to just tell you what is being done without, listen, we're always going to have our own personal beliefs and stuff, but we try as hard as we can,
of course,
to remove those from those stories.
Oh, I did realize we need to make sure we're enunciating a lot, because she said there was one day where we mentioned, she's like, it was technically my fault, but we mentioned George Santos and the federal charges, and she started telling people that Ron DeSantis.
Well, I mean, the George should have probably helped. George versus Ron.
I know, but when you're driving, you're half paying attention. Yes. So I was like, okay, noted. She's like, no, it was my fault. I'm like, yeah, but still. So, but there is something else I wanted to bring up from the bachelorette party. Okay. And I'm glad that Curly, who it happened to, brought it up for me again. So we had pizza the first night we got there. And
riveting.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there eating my pizza.
Again, riveting.
And I look over at her. She's there with her fork and her knife, and starts cutting her pizza. And I go, Curly, what are you doing? She's like, what? I'm like, you are not doing that. And then everyone's like, what? And they start looking, and they're all like, what are you doing? No. And she's like, I said, please. I said, you're hurting my soul right now. She's like, what? I forget what her reasoning was. I don't even know.
Does she always eat pizza like that?
Always eats pizza with a fork and a knife. So then I took a video. She's like, I bet you more people, eat it with a fork and knife than you think. So we took a video, posted it, and I think it was like 12% said utensils.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
She's right, though. I would still say that's more than I thought.
Okay, there are two situations where I will let people eat pizza with a fork and a knife in front of me. One, maybe you're at maybe you're on your way to some formal event, some modeling shoot, something like that, and you don't want to like get dirty.
Right.
I could see that.
Okay.
Just like how I would never really drink Coke out of a Coke can with a straw, but sometimes it's necessary, right? Like for women, you're getting your makeup done or something.
Yeah.
You don't want to ruin it.
Okay, but I tell you what, if you're going to like a formal event where you're a model, you're probably not eating pizza before.
I don't know about that.
No.
The stupid cat has hair
being
everywhere.
So mean to her.
I'm not. I'm being mean to her.
I
She's
find
on
your
my
hair
lap.
in the bathroom.
Yeah, not here though. The other, sometimes with like a Sicilian slice.
No. Stop.
Or like an Elio's pizza. I feel like you could eat those with a fork and a knife.
Okay. Well, I'll get more into the utensils in a second.
Okay.
But a man DM'd me that day and said, she is Chicagoan. She is not. Leave her alone. We from Chicago are not savages like New Yorkers. Our pizzas are works of art, not the triangle slice of cardboard with ketchup, greasy pepperoni, and sprinkled cheese on it you call pizza. Send her pizza from Rosetta's or any other Chicago place that serves good pizza. So now all the girls are like, right before that, they were like, do you get haters on Instagram? I was like, not really anymore. And then I was like, guys, wait, I got one. So we're all dying. And I responded with, she's not from Chicago. Deep dish sucks. Because I just wanted to set him off. And he said, a typical New Yorker answer. Chicago produces more than deep dish, which doesn't suck. The typical Chicagoan usually eats Chicago thin crust, Sicilian, Greek, Detroit, and St. Louis. New York City may invented the pizza, but Chicago perfected it. No, you need to get rid of that New York mentality. New York may have Wall Street, but Wall Street is owned by the Chicago Economic Market Exchanges. And I said, are you okay? And then I sent him the Venmo, buy the bride a drink.
Yeah.
And he sent her $15.
That's nice.
So
good for him.
I'm not gonna crap on him too much, but
good for him. Listen, he got his point across. He contributed to the fund.
Oh, sorry. They're all. Can I watch this later?
You know, you can text them later too.
I know, but they're panicking. Okay.
Couple things here. Number one.
I'm not done with utensils.
Number one. Deep dish is good. Don't get me wrong. It's delicious. It's not pizza. It's a casserole at best. Okay? But it's delicious. I'm not trying to say it's not good. You just can't compare deep dish to regular pizza, to actual pizza. Second point on the pizza. It obviously goes New York, New Jersey pizza number one.
Yes.
Detroit pizza.
New Jersey and New York need to be separated.
Then Detroit. Detroit pizza is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Then Chicago.
Then I would say you've got just everywhere else.
I would even say Florida probably has better pizza than Chicago.
Have you had
because
Florida
so
pizza?
many people move. No? Okay. They didn't move there.
No. I mean, you may as well have Washington pizza.
That's fair.
So it is what it is.
Okay.
And the one thing they do here in Washington that it's got to stop. If you live in Washington and you see this happen, call it out. I'm sick of it. It's disgusting. Stacking slices without any sort of wax paper or anything in between them. The amount of times that I have gotten pizza in the state of Washington where the slices have just been haphazardly
Folded.
layered on top of one another is maddening.
Yeah.
Maddening. Nothing in between. Like, if you could at least put, like, a wax paper or something.
That's what they did at Tony
right?
Baloney's.
You could do something like that. But if you're just going to take my slice and throw it on top of another slice, now I've got oil everywhere. Disgusting.
It's sacrilege.
I have now excommunicated 2 pizza places from my life because they continue to do that.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And one time, they didn't even stack them. Like, sometimes they'll just overlap a little bit. This one place put them in essentially like a sandwich box. And they were all exactly on top of one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 slices. Imagine eating one of the middle slices. It was just a bad experience overall.
It is crazy. So, I don't.
So, stop it. New York pizza number 1. Detroit pizza number 2. Everything else is number 3. Chicago deep dish is good, but it's more of a casserole or a cake, like Radio Fam said. And stop stacking your slices.
Okay. Now, back to utensils.
That
was night 1.
Okay.
Night number 2, we went to a Mexican restaurant. Utensil girl, Curly, and I both order burritos.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big burrito. It comes. I cut mine in half so that I can eat it in 2. She cuts hers in half and then continues to eat her burrito. And let me preface this. When we go burrito places and they put the sauce on it or they're super big, you're not picking that burrito up. This was honestly, it was like a Chipotle-sized burrito. And she's cutting. And I said, you are not doing this again. So I took another video and put it again. And there were more people that said utensils, but it also said depends on the type of burrito.
Yeah.
And I am here to speak honestly. That type of burrito does not need to be cut with utensils.
I feel like, what's your name, Curly?
Yeah.
I feel like Curly should be here to defend herself.
I know.
Caroline, that's enough. Because I do, like you said, Carla Marie, there are certain burritos that you do eat with a fork and knife. And if there are certain burritos you can eat with a fork and a knife, then why can't you eat every burrito with a fork and a knife? Just because it has sauce on it? Like, if it's a dry burrito, you're not supposed to eat it with a fork and knife?
So then we were like, Curly, would you cut a hot dog? A hot dog sandwich?
Ooh.
And then we're like, what about cheeseburgers? And she was like, if I didn't have a bun. I'm like, yeah, if you don't have a bun, then you cut your cheeseburger. But the bun is your holder.
Yes. You could cut it in half. Cutting a cheeseburger in half makes sense. If I saw someone eating a full cheeseburger with a fork and knife, I would think that's really, really, really weird.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess though there are some that are massive, but I don't.
Yeah, but that's when you cut it in half and then you're good.
Yeah. I just texted her. Let's see what she says.
Mellow FM says you just have to use your hands for a burrito. Wait, so you're actually calling her?
Let me see. I didn't want. She's working.
I mean, so are we.
She said my service is so spotty. She lives in the middle of nowhere.
So are we going to get to a point where this cat is just on my lap every stream?
No, Heather on Long Island. I said, did she cut it in half for portion control?
No,
No, we all cut them in half because they were big, and then you wanted to eat them that way. Oh, she's camping. I forgot.
No. Curly ate this burrito with a fork and knife for the whole thing, right?
Yes,
Okay.
whole thing. Okay. We're going to get her on next week. I forgot she was camping this week. Okay.
Oh, wow. We're going to have a double. This is going to be a 2-part conversation.
Well, we should have her on to defend herself. No, but she's awesome. She actually, her company lets people pick where the company will donate money, and she always picks Motley Zoo because of these nuggets. So then the final day, we had food. It was a giant Bavarian pretzel that got sent to the table.
Okay.
And I look over. She was using her hands.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's a tear and go type of thing.
but I mean, come on. She could have been using a utensil.
Going to any like beer hall, beer garden, and getting those big ass pretzels with the cheese sauce.
Yep. So good.
I'll get drunk on that.
Yeah.
I will literally get drunk on cheese sauce.
Rhine House. That's what it was called. Tacoma Swifty said. We didn't
Oh, well,
go.
no, there's Rhine House in Capitol Hill.
But this was in Leavenworth.
Oh.
Probably the same.
Is Rhine House?
Probably means beer.
True.
What does Rhine mean? Hey Siri, what does Rhine mean?
Is she gonna listen?
She thought I said rhyme.
Kayla in Centralia said there's one in Tacoma too.
German name for Rhine.
What does Rhine mean in English?
Natural stream of water.
Doesn't sound like beer to me.
Jess from Minnesota. I get cold shivers every time someone says pretzel. Sounds so wrong. Is that one of those words for you, like moist?
Well, that's like your friend Alex.
She doesn't like smoothie or chocolates.
Yeah.
The words.
I don't understand what is wrong with this cat. Oh, the Rhine. Duh.
It's one of the biggest
river,
rivers.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's one of the biggest rivers in Germany.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, Jess, we should have asked you.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Let's see. I lived in Texas for 6 years and visited my wife's family in Mexico. And I have yet to see anybody eat a burrito with any utensils. But here's the question for Nick NYC. Were they smothering burritos in Texas and Mexico or Mexico? Because one of the things they do here that they did not do in New Jersey is they'll pour like
I don't like it, though.
a sauce on top of the burrito here.
I'm not a fan of that.
You can either get your burrito wet or dry.
Dry.
So.
Because, like, wet, then everything's soggy. And then I can't save it for later.
I like when they throw some melted cheese on top.
That's different.
And then some sauce. Oh, I went to a burrito place. What's the one on 15th called? It's not Del Taco. It's something. It's Taco Del Mar. Right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And I got there. This is like 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to have a burrito. A lot of burrito talk today. And I'm going through the stations, right? It's kind of like a Chipotle or a Qdoba where you want it in a bowl or a tortilla, and you move it down the line. And I pointed to the queso, and I called it queso, and the woman looked at me like I was crazy, but I just heard her speaking Spanish in the back room. And then she said, what, a couple of times. I said, the queso. She was like, the cheese? I was like, I've been forced to say queso. I know it's cheese. I know queso and cheese are the same thing. But I've been forced my entire burrito ordering life to call this queso. You're not going to switch this up on me now. You're not going to make me change the one ingredient I have to order in Spanish to English. It was a really weird experience.
You know she was speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just messing with you.
It was real weird.
Maybe they don't call it queso there.
No, they do. But it's cheese. Either way, it's either queso or cheese. They're the same thing. It was a really weird experience, and that's I think going to be the end of burrito chat here.
Okay, moving on. Did you finish Basketball Diaries?
Or
there was more?
Well, there's a little more. I only really talked about how the BOGO deal ends. I know this cat is a cloud of fur.
Come on, Liney. This is too much.
Oh my God, I'm like sweating.
Oh God, so is she.
Okay, so the buy one get one deal. If you want to come to the Champions of Change charity celebrity basketball game at Climate Pledge Arena, it's on June 23rd, and the buy one get one deal ends this Friday. So if you want to go, you can always message me. If you don't have the details, I will send you all the things you need to know because there's a little thing you got to hit that says unlock for the code. Is she coming back here?
Just sit.
So that ends on Friday. Buy one, get one deal. Make sure if you're coming, you actually take advantage of that because it's good for any seat in the house. But with my 4th day in a row of playing basketball,
Okay.
I finally felt really good yesterday. And I was not only did I feel good, people were coming up to me because I played 3 games in a row, and they're like, hey, great shots, great passes, blah, 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 great defense. And I was like, all right, I'm back. I'm back.
But are you back enough to play against former athletes?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was bodying some pretty big dudes yesterday.
I think might be embarrassed after this.
Maybe.
I don't know if I want to
I
be
had
like,
some phenomenal passes.
we're going to see how the game goes. Because if the game's going great, I'm going to be like, yeah, I know him. And if it doesn't, I might leave early.
But the one thing I did want to talk about was on Friday when I played, I felt like, first off, I felt like I've never played basketball before. And then Saturday morning when I woke up, because I played 5 games in a row on Friday night. Like, literally should not have done that. Saturday I woke up and everything hurt. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to still go. I'm going to get my regular workout in. I'll move a little bit, and then I'll play at least 1 or 2 more games just to, break up that lactic acid, kind of fight through the pain a little bit.
Yeah.
Felt a little better. Did the same thing on Sunday. Did the same thing yesterday. And the reason I'm bringing this up is if you have not done something physical in a while, like maybe you haven't gone for a run in a long time, you haven't lifted weights in a long time, whatever it is, that first day is going to suck.
Yeah, that's me.
Keep showing up. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself. Like when I played terrible the first couple days, just kept telling myself, keep showing up. Keep showing up. And then on Sunday, which was 2 days ago, I got in there and no one was playing yet, so I just got some shots up on my own. And I felt more comfortable. Then we started playing. And the whole idea is really by the time June 23rd rolls along, I'll be comfortable enough with my shot. I'll have my basketball lungs, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the lesson that I'm learning myself is just because it was hard that one day, you got to keep showing up and it'll get easier. And that goes with everything. With work, with fitness stuff, relationships. It's not always easy. Just keep showing up. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Scotty said deep thoughts with tones.
Yeah. It can't, like, I had the realization last night when I finally started feeling good. And I thought to myself, I'm so glad that I didn't take off those days.
Yeah.
And kind of like lick my wounds and then be like, oh, well, I got to go back there. And it just never would have been consistent.
Well, I haven't worked out in 12 days other than a hike and whitewater rafting.
That's a lot for you.
So I'm going to get my butt whooped. I know. I usually don't skip more than 2 days.
So when are you going to start?
I think this afternoon.
What are you going to do? OTF?
Yeah, probs.
It's going to be rough that first day. Especially because you had a trip to Jersey where you probably weren't the most healthy.
Actually wasn't too bad this time.
No?
I did eat a lot of cookies.
I averaged a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich every day that I was in Jersey.
I didn't have one.
So good. And
I
threw in an extra bagel, salt bagel with cream cheese on top of that. So I had 8 bagels in 7 days in New Jersey. So good. So good. And I have 0 regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. I'm speed walking on a treadmill and watching this. Oh, there we go. Tacoma Swiftie. Oh, where'd it go? See, here's the thing. Tacoma Swiftie said minimal effort, but still, it's still an effort. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't have to go maximum effort all the time. There's actually an older guy named Mike who works out at LA Fitness in Ballard. I've been seeing him for years. And a couple weeks ago, he came up. He was using a piece of equipment that was by me. And just, you do the regular, like, oh, how you feeling today? Or what are you working on? There's like the meathead questions you ask one another. What you hitting today? And people will be like, oh, lats and biceps.
That actually happens.
Oh, all the time.
If people ask me, I'd be like, I think the legs.
So he came up and he said, he's like, how you feeling today? I said, honestly, I don't feel like I got it today.
He
it's
said
like
this?
everything's a little harder today. And he looked at me and said, you don't have to lift your heaviest every day. He said, because he's like 60. And he said, if I've learned anything, he goes, you're here. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to beat your record every single day that you're here. I said, you know what, Mike? I needed to hear that today. And it was great. And the rest of the day, I said, you know what? I'm gonna get to a point where I'm pushing myself for that day. I don't need to compare myself to 2 weeks ago or last week or whatever.
With Orange Theory, there's a lot of like trying to be better than the last time you did something. There's like, there's the mile test or whatever it is, like the different challenges. And there's times where I'm like pushing myself because I know that challenge is coming up. And then I'm like, you're not an athlete. You don't have to hurt yourself or be mad that you don't get there. Of course, I love having a goal and something to try to beat and something to try to hit, but you showed up. And even lifting a single weight is better than not showing up.
Yep.
So I try to remember that, and it's actually made such a difference in how I approach working out.
Rain from Washington with a great quote here. Rain said, oh, there it is. I always say your best looks different every day.
It's awesome.
And as long as you're giving your best for that day, you're good. And yeah, there's going to be times where in anything, work, relationships, fitness, whatever you're tackling, there's going to be days where you have to stress a little more, push a little more. But as long as you're doing whatever you can do that day, that's all they can really ask of you. You know, the thing is, some days at work, your mind is just not there, right? But if you get all the tasks done, you live to fight another day. That's really what it is.
Or not get them all done.
But that's what I've started saying ever since I had that discussion with Mike a couple weeks ago. Every time someone says something similar to me, like, oh, I wish I was doing this a little heavier or whatever, you're here.
Well, now you can say your best looks different every day.
I could. I don't want to steal it from Rain, though. Rain is raining knowledge, as Lenny says, or showering us with knowledge.
No.
No?
That wasn't it.
What I'm going to do, although I guess the BOGO ends this Friday, so I can't. I was going to make a little chat thing, but we're not going to have time to do that. And a reminder that Thursday there will most likely not be a show. There's a very slim chance that Carla Marie might do something by herself or invite someone to
I don't know,
to join her.
It might be my chance to like actually rest the voice.
But the other problem is then I can't take my laptop for the morning show podcast.
Okay, well, we're not going to do it.
So that would be a little interesting. So there will most likely be no show on Thursday. Hopefully Carla Marie rests.
Well, I'm supposed to go to Defy Tacoma.
Oh, that's right.
The trampoline park. And I can't guarantee that I won't scream.
Who are you supposed to go with?
Hannah, that's what I got her for her birthday.
Gotcha. Well, I feel like if you're at a trampoline park, you're going to not only twist your ankle, but also lose your voice.
Don't say that. It's not
That's
funny.
what everyone does at trampoline parks.
It's not funny.
Just get some, ankle tape.
I did roll my ankle 3 times on Saturday night. It's really sore today.
How'd you, what, water rafting?
No, because it's Tatum's fault. Because she told me, I said,
Tatum was also at the Bachelorette party.
I said, I think I'm going to wear these sandals. And she said, but the other ones you have match your outfit. I was like, yeah, but do I really want to wear wedges out? Come on, where are we going? She's
Where else are you going to wear wedges?
She's like, they match. I was like, fine. They did match. And then I walked through the cobblestone streets of Leavenworth, and I was like, Tatum, I'm telling you, if I get hurt, it's your fault. Boom, roll my ankle. And she's like, I was like, ow. Oh my God. I was like, this is going to suck so bad if I have to go to the hospital. It's fine. We take 5 more steps. Boom, it happens again.
And
she's
baby
like,
giraffe?
5 more steps again. And then I was like, oh my God. So then we get to the bar, and then I'm sitting there, and I was like, God, I can't do this the whole night. I'm literally going to get hurt. It's not worth it. So we were about to do karaoke, and we all had fake microphones at the house that were a part of the motif. They're like plastic with a shiny little top. And I looked at Curly, and I was like, we got to go back to the house and get everyone's microphones, and I'm going to change my shoes. So we ran back. No one even knew we left. Well, I took off my shoes, ran.
Okay.
Put on my flip-flops, grabbed the microphones, and we showed up just in time for everyone to perform Dancing with the Queen, and we all had 10 fake microphones.
One of my favorite things when I used to go out in New York City, I think it's
Bring a fake microphone?
Yes. No. In the meatpacking district, there used to be a lot of clubs down there, a lot of clubs and lounges and nice bars and whatnot. But there were also cobblestone roads there. So you had these girls in their finest dresses and all the stuff, the finest shoes, and it just looked like baby giraffes everywhere. You would just see wobbling women just doing this, trying to keep keep up on their heels
Yeah.
on the cobblestone
No.
roads. It was my favorite.
And the only reason I wore them is because it matched the outfit. I never wear heels out unless I'm going to a wedding.
Yeah, same.
I realized there was one thing we did not discuss.
What?
We have to, because if we can't wait till next week. I drank breast milk.
Oh, yeah. What made you do that?
So
Why was there breast milk there?
at every bachelor party. So Tatum is still breastfeeding her daughter.
Okay.
And she was pumping every night and putting it in the freezer. And the one night she is like, all right, I had there's a certain threshold where if you drink too much, like you can drink and still breastfeed.
Drink alcohol, you're saying.
That was a common misconception. She was gonna I think she was going to dump it or just save it for other things. Like you can use it for rashes for the baby, rash for yourself, for just like a milk bath for the baby. There's different things you can use. Some people were even commenting on my Instagram being like, you don't ever have to pump and dump because by the time the alcohol gets to your bloodstream, you've already pumped it. Anyway, I was like, Tatum, can I taste it? She's like, yeah, I don't care. I was like so scared as to what I was going to taste.
Okay.
It was like sweet water. It was like almond milk, vanilla almond milk.
Which I don't like.
But if you've ever tried baby formula, which I've done to like check the temperature and I've tasted it, I would prefer the boob. I get it. And I know, I will say this a million times over. Fed is best. It doesn't matter what you do for your kid. As long as they're getting fed, they're fine. But it was so nice. And we were all sipping it. And one of the girls was like, it's warm. And she's like, yeah, it came out of my body. But it was awesome. So then I post this video and we're like, all right, here we go. Like, I'm going to get ripped. Like, we were expecting full haters to be like, you're disgusting, whatever. Every comment was, oh my God, I tried my friends. Isn't it so sweet? I've been telling people forever it's so sweet. And then I'm glad I'm not the only one who did this at a bachelorette party. And they started tagging their friends. And then someone said that at a bachelorette party, they got a group of a bachelor party to take shots of her sister's breast milk at a bar.
Did she
I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Did she have it in a bag? Or was she like squirting into shot glasses?
I said, if we're going to go OnlyFans next night, I'm taking it straight from the teat. But we didn't do that.
I'm glad you didn't get hate for that, but you did get hate for the Chicago pizza from the Chicago pizza guy.
I know.
Also, I want to shout out Jen and Lisa, who just said, is it here? There we go. We just got to hug at Jersey Quinn. She just picked up her cookies.
From Philly?
Well, probably came to Central Jersey.
It's crazy.
It's not that bad of a drive.
No.
It's like 45 minutes.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. So,
oh, man, I wish I had some cookies and breast milk.
If you want some cookies in the Central or really just the Jersey area, PA, New York, definitely hit up Jen and Lisa because they are very, very good.
Yeah. For Old Times Bake.
Yeah.
Renee said, currently pumping.
There
I was
you go.
laughing when I saw your post. Did you know, and I learned this that night, a lot of bodybuilders pay top dollar for breast milk because it builds their muscles.
I did not know that. It makes sense, though.
Would you, if I can get some breast milk from Tatum, would you drink it?
No.
Why not?
I just don't want to. I just don't want to.
My family was like,
Maybe if I get into like a bodybuilding competition one day, I'll have to find a pregnant friend.
You should have it for the basketball tournament.
Right before? Yeah, I'm sure that'll be great.
You might
I'll throw up.
You might get like Looney Tunes.
Michael's secret stuff.
What are the stars called?
The Monstars.
Monstars.
You said your family was not a fan of you drinking breast milk. Why not?
Like, again, I don't care how you feed your baby, but for some reason, my family, and this is their opinions, not mine. So, whatever. They think breastfeeding is weird.
All of them across the board. All the ones who are moms.
Every female. Everyone who's a mom.
So your sister is a mom, your niece Alyssa is a mom, your sister Tina is a mom, and your mom obviously is a mom. They all don't go from the boob.
No. Huh. Alyssa did like once in the hospital.
Oh, and then your brother's wife.
I don't ask her. I don't think she breastfed. So they all, like, Ashley never even tried, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But also, you can't shit on people that do, because that is like the OG way that people survive. Like, how do you think Jesus ate? I don't think they were squeezing a cow and giving Jesus a bottle. And it's just like, it's just so weird to me.
Yeah.
And I was having this conversation at the bachelorette party, and some of the women were like, Yeah, but you have to remember, like, your mom's mentality having kids in the 70s, 80s, there was like this, and even 90s, there was this idea of like, well, you can't feed your baby in public with your breast. So breastfeeding is weird. And I was like, and big formula came out, and that's when it became like huge. So they were pushing formula as this is the better thing. And think about like 50s through 70s, that was probably like the main advertise. Like milk is best for the family. And so my mom is kind of
milk. Because isn't formula like basically like dried milk that you just
Yeah. Well, there's liquid formula. But then my sister with twins, I'm assuming it was just like did not want to have to worry about feeding like this, although she did that with the bottle, but still. And I think their mentality of like, ew, I'm like, well, first of all, it's free.
Well, that's what Maria in Omaha just said. She said, listen, it weirded me out at first. Now all I can think of is how much money I'm saving. We still have Formula 2, though.
Yeah. And they were like, ew. And I was like, you drink milk from a dirty-ass animal. Let's be real. And then who knows what's been getting put in all that stuff. This was straight from the source.
Yeah. Raw, as if you will.
Don't yuck my yum.
You really thought it was yum, huh?
It was good. I had several sips. And then Tatum put it on my mosquito bites the next day.
So now I said you can't give infants cow's milk until they're 1 anyway. So what is in formula?
Well, there's formula companies that are like, it's basically the same as breast milk, but let's see. Because the big one nowadays is Bobbie, Bobbie.
Also, you said something. When was your sister Ashley born? What year?
91.
So your mom actually had kids in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
And today.
That's crazy. Today. She had 3 decades of children. Huh. Let's see, what other...
Manufacture food designed and marketed for feeding to babies.
Fred said formula is just birthday cake pop protein for babies, which is probably a reference to the birthday cake pop or the cake pop protein that I got from Vitamin Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, that stuff is sweet.
And I also learned...
It's too sweet.
Do you know what a wet nurse is? You've
No.
heard of the term?
I've heard it, yeah.
Yeah.
Never really thought of it.
Like, if I wanted to right now, I could start getting my boobs ready.
How?
If you stimulate them enough, I could breastfeed.
What do you stimulate them with?
Maybe a pump. And that's
I've never heard. I didn't know that.
The question was, what did babies eat before formula was invented? The historical evolution of infant feeding includes wet nursing, the feeding bottle, and formula use. Before the invention of bottles and formula, wet nursing was the safest and most common alternative to the natural mother's breast milk.
Well, I know that I think in the Middle Ages what they used to do is they would find like a servant who also had a baby.
Yeah.
And now you were in charge of taking like the royal or the lord's baby and feeding both yours and that one. Huh.
I have nipples, Greg.
All right, it is time for us to get out of here because now we're just divulging into...
I Googled what is in breast milk. What is in baby?
What?
Okay, the most commonly used infant formulas contain purified cow's milk whey, casein as a protein source, a blend of vegetable oils as a fat source, lactose as a carbohydrate source, vitamin mineral mix, and other ingredients depending on the manufacturer. Just give them oat milk. They'll be fine.
Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Don't forget the buy one, get one deal for the Champions of Change charity basketball game ends on Friday. If you're in the area, you want information, you can message me at Worst Anthony on Instagram. Carla Marie, you want to say bye to all your bachelorette party friends?
Bye, guys.
Later. There we go.